Welcome back to English Boost Every Day, everyone. Today's episode is all about unlocking the magic of English literature, not just for academic improvement, but for sheer pleasure and cultural enrichment. And guess what? Yapmanız gereken 5 şeyi öğreneceksin. In this session, you're going to discover 5 essential strategies to choose engaging texts, boost your vocabulary in context, gain cultural insights, use active reading techniques, and integrate literature into your daily study routine. I'm Michael, your host, and I'm thrilled to be joined by our amazing guest, Sarah, an expert in literature-based language learning. Let's jump right into the enriching world of literature.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here today. Literature has the power to transform your language skills, not only by expanding your vocabulary and improving comprehension, but also by providing deep cultural insights. Today, we're going to explore how novels, short stories, and poetry can be both enjoyable and educational. I'll share practical tips on selecting the right texts, engaging actively with the material, and reflecting on literary themes. Whether you're reading for pleasure or proficiency, these strategies will help you integrate literature into your language learning journey in a meaningful way.
Let's kick off with our first essential strategy, choosing the right texts. Finding literature that matches your current level and interests is critical. Sarah, why is it so important to select the right material? And what should our listeners look for when choosing a book or poem?
Great question, Michael. The key to effective reading is selecting texts that not only challenge you, but also keep you engaged. Look for books or short stories that resonate with your interests, whether it's mystery, romance, historical fiction, or even contemporary poetry. When choosing a text, consider factors like vocabulary difficulty, sentence structure, and cultural context. Beginners might start with simplified versions of classics or graded readers, while advanced learners can dive into original texts. Also, reviews and recommendations from trusted sources can be invaluable. The right text will captivate you, making the reading process enjoyable and less like a chore.
That makes a lot of sense. When you're truly engaged, you're more likely to absorb the language naturally. Moving on to our second essential strategy, active reading techniques. It's one thing to read passively, but to truly benefit from literature, you need to interact with the text. Sarah, can you explain what active reading entails and share some practical methods our listeners can use?
Absolutely, Michael. Active reading means engaging with the text beyond just skimming the words. I recommend several techniques. 1. Annotate as you read. Underline new vocabulary, write notes in the margins, and jot down questions or reactions. 2. Summarize paragraphs. After finishing a chapter or section, take a moment to summarize what you read in your own words. 3. Ask questions. Challenge yourself by asking questions about the characters, plot, or the author's intent. 4. Visualize scenes. Try to create mental images of the scenes described. It makes the text more memorable and enjoyable. These strategies help reinforce your understanding and retention, turning reading into an interactive experience rather than a passive one.
Fantastic tips, Sarah. Active reading not only helps you remember new words, but also deepens your comprehension. Now, let's dive into our third essential strategy, boosting vocabulary in context. Literature is a treasure trove of new words, and learning them in context is incredibly powerful. Sarah, how can our listeners make the most of the vocabulary they encounter?
Vocabulary is indeed one of the greatest benefits of reading literature. When you come across unfamiliar words, don't just look them up. See how they're used within the context of the sentence. I suggest you keep a dedicated vocabulary journal. Write down the word, its definition, and an example sentence from the text. Then, try to create your own sentence using that word. This process not only reinforces the meaning, but also helps you internalize the word's usage. Additionally, review your vocabulary journal regularly to ensure that the new words become part of your active vocabulary. This method allows you to learn words organically, making them easier to recall in conversation or writing.
That's excellent advice. Contextual vocabulary learning truly makes a difference. Now, moving on to our fourth essential strategy, gaining cultural insights through literature. Understanding the cultural context behind a text can elevate your learning experience. Sarah, can you share how literature helps deepen cultural understanding and why that's important for language proficiency?
Certainly, Michael. Literature offers a window into the cultural, historical, and social contexts in which a language is used. When you read a novel or a poem, you're not just learning new words. You're also exploring the values, traditions, and perspectives of the culture that produced the work. For example, reading Shakespeare or contemporary British literature can reveal insights into British social norms and humor. I encourage you to ask yourself questions like, what does this text say about the society it was written in? Or, how do the characters reflect cultural values? Reflecting on these aspects not only enriches your understanding of the language, but also helps you appreciate its nuances. This cultural literacy is invaluable when communicating with native speakers, as it enables you to understand and use idiomatic expressions and cultural references appropriately.
That's a profound point, Sarah. When you understand the cultural background, language becomes more meaningful and easier to use in real life situations. And finally, let's move on to our fifth essential strategy: integrating literature into your daily study routine. Consistency is key in language learning, and making literature a part of your everyday life can yield significant improvements. Sarah, what are some practical ways to incorporate reading into your daily routine?
Integrating literature into your daily routine is all about finding small, manageable ways to make reading a habit. One effective strategy is to set aside a specific time each day, perhaps 20 to 30 minutes, dedicated solely to reading. This could be during your morning commute, before bed, or even during a lunch break. Another tip is to always have a book with you, whether it's a physical copy or an e-book on your mobile device. You can also join a book club or an online reading group where you discuss your thoughts and insights with others. This social aspect not only keeps you accountable, but also enhances your understanding through shared perspectives. Lastly, try to balance reading for pleasure with reading for study. Mix in some light fiction or poetry with more challenging texts so that learning remains enjoyable and not overwhelming.
Let's quickly recap the 5 essential strategies you must learn to boost your English through engaging literature. 1. Choose the right texts. Select literature that matches your level and interests, ensuring it's both challenging and engaging. 2. Practice active reading techniques. Annotate, summarize, ask questions, and visualize the text to enhance comprehension and retention. 3. Boost vocabulary. In context, keep a vocabulary journal and learn new words by seeing them used in authentic contexts. 4. Gain cultural insights. Reflect on the cultural and historical context behind the texts to deepen your understanding of the language. 5. Integrate reading into your daily routine. Establish a consistent reading habit through scheduled practice, carrying a book, and joining reading communities.
Exactly, Michael. By following these 5 strategies, you'll not only improve your language proficiency, but also develop a deeper appreciation for the rich tapestry of English literature. Reading becomes more than just an academic exercise. It transforms into an immersive, enjoyable journey that enriches your vocabulary, cultural understanding, and overall communication skills.
Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to encourage all our listeners to start incorporating these strategies into your study routine right away. Pick up that book you've been meaning to read, try annotating as you go, and don't forget to jot down those new words. Engage with the text actively and reflect on its cultural context. Every page you read is a step toward mastery and a deeper connection with the language.
Absolutely. And remember, literature is a doorway to a world of knowledge and emotion. Whether you're reading for pleasure or proficiency, each story, poem, or essay has something valuable to offer. Embrace the journey and let every book become a mentor guiding you toward fluency and cultural enrichment.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Sarah, and thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode, please check out our previous videos on speaking, listening, vocabulary, and writing. We update our channel daily with fresh, engaging content, so be sure to visit every day.
Yes, please remember to subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Like this video if you found it helpful, and share it with your friends. Your support helps our community grow and motivates us to continue delivering innovative language tips and insights.
That's right. So as you leave today's session, keep these 5 essential strategies in mind. Choose the right texts, engage in active reading, boost vocabulary and context, gain cultural insights, and integrate reading into your daily routine. With these tools, you're well on your way to transforming your English skills and embarking on a truly enriching literary journey.
Keep exploring. Stay curious and let the magic of literature inspire your language learning. Every book is a new adventure waiting to unfold, and every page brings you closer to fluency and cultural understanding.
Thank you once again for joining us on Literature Dive. Boost your English through engaging reads and insights today. Don't forget to check out our previous episodes for more practical language tips, subscribe for daily updates, and share this podcast with your friends and family. Together, we're building a vibrant community of passionate, lifelong English learners.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay inspired, keep reading, and we'll see you in the next episode with more dynamic insights and actionable tips.
Until next time, this is Michael, with Sarah by my side, signing off. Have an amazing day and enjoy every moment of your literary journey.